It began on a night like any other. I had gone down into the basement looking for an old screwdriver. The air smelled of dust and damp wood, the kind of smell that clings to memories long forgotten. My flashlight beam scanned across broken chairs, old books, and boxes stacked in uneven towers. That's when I noticed it. A medium-sized cardboard box shoved behind old photo albums. Dust covered the top, but across it, in faded black marker, was my name. My name. At first, I thought maybe it was childhood toys or forgotten birthday cards. With shaky hands, I ripped the tape off and pulled the lid open. Inside were envelopes, dozens of them, all addressed to me. My chest tightened as I picked one up. The letterhead read Stanford University. My hands trembled as I unfolded the page. "Congratulations," it said. "A full ride scholarship." I tore open another. MIT. Another acceptance. Another scholarship. And then another. Columbia University. Harvard. Every letter carried the same message. You are chosen. You belong here. But I had never seen a single one before that night. I sat on the cold basement floor, surrounded by envelopes like a graveyard of dreams. For years, I believed the story my parents told me. "Sorry, son, the school's rejected you. Not everyone is cut out for college." But the truth was written in front of me, bold and undeniable. I hadn't been rejected. I had been accepted. They hadn't turned me away. My own parents had. Questions clawed through my head. Why would they do this? Why lie? Why bury my future in dust? The answer came slowly, bitterly. I already knew. Because of her. Because of my sister. I carried the box upstairs and dropped it on the kitchen table with a heavy thud. My mother looked up from her cup of tea. She didn't even look surprised. Her lips pressed into a thin line, as though she had been waiting for this moment. "You found it," she said flatly. "You hid it." I shot back. My voice shook with rage. "Stanford, MIT, Columbia. You told me I wasn't good enough, that I was rejected. But all this time you knew. Why?" She sighed, as though I was being unreasonable. "You were too fragile, too naive. We couldn't risk you breaking down. Your sister, she needed the chance. She was stronger, more prepared. We had to focus on her future. Fragile. That was her excuse. And me?" I demanded. "What about my future? Did I not matter?" Her answer cut deeper than the lie. "You'll be fine anywhere." Memories rushed back like a flood. Growing up, it had always been the same. She got the new car. I got the old bicycle. She got the spotlight at every birthday. Mine passed with a simple cake in the corner. She was the star. I was the placeholder. But this was different. This wasn't about cars or birthdays. This was my life. My future. And they had thrown it away, as if I was disposable. That night, as I sat alone in my room, I realized the truth. I had never been rejected by the world. I had been rejected by my own family. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I simply packed a small bag and walked out of that house. My parents didn't stop me. My sister didn't look up from her phone. To them, I was already invisible. But inside me, a fire had started. A fire that would never go out. If they thought I was fragile, I would prove them wrong. If they thought I was disposable, I would make myself unforgettable. That was the night I promised myself, I will build a life they can never ignore. The years that followed were not easy. I worked nights, studied by day, and lived off instant noodles. I slept on floors, borrowed couches, and sometimes had nothing but determination to keep me alive. But slowly, brick by brick, I built something. A small tech startup, born out of endless hours in coffee shops and libraries. People laughed at me at first. They called me a dreamer, a fool. But within 5 years, that foolish dream became a company worth millions. While they thought I was too fragile, I was signing contracts with investors. While they pampered my sister, I was climbing skyscrapers to my own penthouse view. I was no longer the invisible sun. I was unstoppable. One night, my phone rang. The screen lit up with a number I hadn't seen in years. My sister. Her voice trembled. "You don't understand. Mom and Dad did what they thought was best. I needed the chance. I deserved it. You would have been fine anywhere." There it was again, needed. She always needed, and I was always the sacrifice. I didn't shout. I didn't argue. I just hung up, because I knew the day was coming when I would face them again, not as the forgotten son, but as the man they could never control. When I finally returned home, everything had changed. The once proud house looked worn and tired, paint peeled from the walls. The garden was overgrown. Inside, my parents looked older, smaller. The confidence in their eyes had faded. For the first time, they looked afraid. My mother gasped when she saw me. My father stood silent. My sister's smile faltered. I wasn't the boy they had ignored. I was the man they had underestimated. They begged for help. Bills had piled up. The house was close to foreclosure. My sister had lost her job. They wanted me to save them. The same family who once decided my future wasn't worth keeping. I could have. I had the money. I had the power. But instead, I showed them my world, the luxury car, the apartment in the city, the thriving company I had built from nothing. I didn't need to shout or humiliate them. My success was loud enough. As I left that night, I gave them the only gift they deserved. I let them see what they threw away. They called me fragile. They called me second best. They buried my future in a box. But I dug it out. I rebuilt it. And now I shine brighter than they ever imagined. Sometimes revenge isn't about screaming, fighting, or proving them wrong. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is walking away richer, stronger, and untouchable.